Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to a very, very funny special edition of the Great Iron Power Hour After Hours. Today's topic, the funny side of sports and life. Where if you can't laugh at yourself, what can you laugh at? So, and let me remind you folks, if you are fans of TikTok and you recently came across the Oh No compilations, I do suggest you watch them with extreme caution, wear earphones, with volume turned down, because I don't think nobody needs you to wake them up at 3 a.m. laughing your ass off. Especially the ones I've seen that make me question everything I don't see. And if you play sports, for the love of God, folks, make sure if you're playing in your backyard basketball hoop, make sure the base is way down. Otherwise, you might have accidentally slam dunk and your backboard goal was going to fall on one of your friends. Or if you...
I didn't know we were doing this podcast, Jack, because I didn't get anything until not too long ago, so...
Yeah.
That's why I'm behind schedule.
Yeah. This is the funny side of sports and life. Well, like I said, folks, in the time of uncertainty, it's best to look on things and laugh at, because
life is short, folks.
And especially if you're like me and you're watching an oldie but goodie Indiana Jones movie, or somebody freaking out or eating chilled monkey brains for dessert. But I don't want to go into that, because as is, just thinking about that, it's going to make me toss up my dinner. And I'm trying to keep it down. And I don't think many of you don't want me seeing me toss my cookies on social media. And like I said, even on social media, there's funny things you can laugh at. And one of our favorites is a guy getting hit in the head with a can of Twisted Tea, which never gets old.
Oh no, never will. Never will.
Or my personal favorite, Josh Allen hitting himself in the face with his own helmet after he calls himself getting upset for no reason. Come on, man. Even that is hilarious.
Yep.
Almost as hilarious as Valentino Blake ended up on there 3 times in a row.
Yep.
And all 3 were his fault. Well, 2 out of the 3. The third one was not his fault, as he was covering Alshon Jeffrey. And he chose to back off. So that is true. Looking at that one, I just gotta say it. Come on, man.
Like, dude, are you that much of an idiot?
But there are so.
Are you seriously that much of an idiot? My God, you're better than that.
Yeah, I don't even think the officials themselves are safe from this one. No. Especially if you got an official who's trying to measure that down with a postcard. A postcard, folks. Instead of using the chain gang, you're using a postcard to figure out just how far he's down. And of course, one of the Buffalo Bills is trying to tell the referee the ball's ours, it's going that way, and he ain't paying attention. And of course, Johnny Football, aka Johnny Manziel, is what's the biggest tool on the face of the planet? This man got sacked for a penalty. And the score was 3-10. San Francisco. And of course, there was the kiddie mascot game in Minnesota, as always. And Blue, the Colts mascot, still acts like a jerk. The same thing can be said to the Minnesota Golden Gophers mascot. And they running over kids. Now, we know this is excessive celebration, but this is ridiculous, folks. I understand you want to score a touchdown or something, but it is kind of funny when you get flagged for dancing in the end zone. And then, of course, there is the sound guy. He held onto the microphone, but he lost his sunglasses, he lost his car keys, and he lost his phone. And I think it's safe to say he was still looking for his car keys that day.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't even think he found them. And of course, one of the Bengals players thought he was still in Green Bay when he tried to do the Lambeau leap in all places, Cincinnati. You're funny to say the least. And then, of course, Bruce Arenas ended up on Come On Man for the stupidest reason of all. Then unintentionally threw the challenge flag, sent his player out to grab it, tuck it, and bring it back to the side to make it act like he didn't throw it. And of course, at Oregon, the 7 overtime loss. Long after the Gatorade has dried on his clothes. Long after. Now, talk about celebrating a little bit too early. And Oklahoma fans, and I hope you take this advice to heart, please retire the Sooner Schooner. You're having too many accidents with that dad blasted thing as is. Too many of your cheerleaders wound up in the hospital because of that thing. And I think one dude wound up with a gnarly road rash right up the backside. Come to think of it, I guess that's why he never takes off his shirt. Because I think it stuck to him. And folks, if you're going to wear, and football players, and this is for everybody, man or woman, if you're going to wear pants, please wear a belt. You don't want to do a loose moon on national television.
Nothing worse. I don't care if it's regular pants or any pants. Why the heck are you wearing your pants like you're sagging, like you're trying to think you're all on that other crap? Stop BS with your pants, or you're better than that.
No. BS meaning will be if you live in Mississippi and you're going to get $500 for doing that. Yes? Oh, boy. I mean, who gets $500 for busting sack? And then if you're a football player, please do not act like a soccer player and try to kick it that way. You're an idiot. And of course, the infamous Michael Thomas, hiding a cell phone into the goalpost. Tell somebody to call your mama. Come on. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And this big schmuck grabbed the ball from in front of a kid's face. He was giving it to the kid, and he took it from a kid. And of course, Valentino Blake covering Alshon Jeffrey during the Titans win against the Bears years ago. I mean, like I said, he's been on there 3 times.
Exactly.
And of course, Matt Hasselbeck was on there too. Twice. The second time was trying to smash a cake into his face. He ended up breaking his nose. On the hardest part of the cake. Now, he knew better. He's 40 years old. He knew better. He knew that centerpiece was not cake. It was hard plastic. And Tom Brady, at 43 years old, he definitely knows better. He don't need to block. And well, as for Kiko Alonso, I think he needs to watch where he put his hands down, folks. Because the way I see it, putting your hands in between the legs of a player, it's going to get awkward. Not even Kiko Alonso. Mm-hmm. Yep. What's up? All right. Okay. But also, like I said, folks, in sports and life, if you can't laugh at yourself, who will? Especially when you do things that wound up on national television. Like Deshaun Watson sitting next to Patrick Mahomes after he was shoved out of bounds. And they both wound up becoming a man for the first time as rookies. And that was a funny rookie thing to do. Unless you happen to be a seasoned vet and you know when you have to go, you gotta go, but you can't go on the field. Like, they might mistake that for something. Oh, Lordy. No. There's a reason for a college football player knows better. He's channeling his inner Ray Lewis. And he flops around on the football field like a fish. Even though it's a pregame celebration, I mean, come on, man. You're on national TV. Don't embarrass yourself that way, because you will wind up on Come On Man. A lot of people have. Even for dumb, embarrassing things like losing your pants on national television. They saw the moon. You get mistaken for a football, Kiko Alonso. Then you wind up trying to pick up, as an offensive player, picking up the football, trying to run with it, only to get flipped by a guy smaller than you and losing the ball in the process. Marshall Newhouse. Don't pick up that ball no more, man. You've been on Come On Man once, and that's enough. You don't need to be on. Oh, boy. Now, everybody knows that what happened is that even though there ain't no fans in the stands last year, What are you doing? You can't hype up a crowd of nothing. You got no fans. Come on, man.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. Oh, I remember this one. This is when San Francisco, they were third and 31. 31 yards. The longest set of downs in a pro football career. But not as long as the collegiate ones, and the collegiate ones were embarrassing to say the most. But they're still funny to laugh at to this day. But here's the thing. Also getting your last name misspelled.
Yes.
Like Clyde Harris-Hilaire. He got his last name, Edwards Hillary, got his last name spelled wrong on his jersey. His last name is Hilarie. They switched the R and the I around. Gave him Clyde Edwards Hilaire.
Yep. Well,
his last name is Edwards Hillary, not Hilaire, which is kind of hilarious. And if you're gonna get hit with a ball, the saying keep your eye on the ball. It gets tossed around a lot, but it don't mean really keep your eye on the ball. Please don't. You're gonna end up busting your eye socket. If you get hit with a football or baseball or a tennis ball, please, folks, wear eyewear. Please. Common sense would have told you. Damn. And yeah, Arnie, I know you try to get yourself psyched up, but number 59, please don't headbutt your offensive coordinator. I think you busted his head wide open on national television, which you did.
You're probably asking yourself. I know a lot of people on the podcast love that. Have you guys buried the lead for this week? No, we have not buried the lead, but there's a particular reason why. We are not talking about the shoulder teams and verdict. It's because of the fact that if you did not get enough of a fix of all the coverage of the trial and the verdict fix and what's ahead.
I already know what's ahead, and I can give it to you right now.
Sentencing in the next.
They already sentenced him. They sentenced him 3 days ago.
No, they didn't give him like the max he could go for 75 years.
Yep, that's what they gave him.
They've not decided if they're going to give him the full 75.
They are.
There's a process they have to go through.
He was found guilty of all counts, including second-degree murder.
Yeah, it's called the defense team has a right to appeal. So we're not even close to the sentencing phase yet. The only thing that just took place was the verdict. No sentence was handed down. The only thing that was handed down was the guilty verdict.
And Patrick Mahomes wound up on come up in his senior year in college because of what he posted on Twitter. And one of his posts says, "This is why I can't get excited." Then he posted, I apologize, hashtag old takes exposed.
No, you weren't sorry. The only thing you were is you're sorry that you got caught.
No, he was actually talking about his the game against Texas. It was what he was talking about. Texas Tech and the Longhorns. Or the Longhorns beat them 63-56. and that time that the Eagles tried to cheat that one time by pushing the ball up at the half-yard hash mark. Now, like I said, the referees, they need to get on the same page. Otherwise, you want to have what the college referees done. Blown an extra point field goal attempt called by making a mistake. One said the kick was no good. The other one said the kick was good. The only thing bounced off the outright and out. The kick was no good. And like I said, celebrating early, you don't do that. He tried to chuck up the deuce, and he got brought down at the 6-yard line. Don't do that. Celebrate until you get into the end zone. Don't do that before you get into the end zone, because they're going to bring you down. Don't do that. That's embarrassing enough as a player. I see plenty of guys getting tackled while chucking up the deuces. That's a no bueno. That's from Tyreek Hill himself. And even he was guilty of that. But there's the right way, and then there's the wrong way of checking up the deuce while going to score. Make sure you're far away from the defenders fast enough before you chuck up the deuce. Because if you're checking it up before you get into the end zone, they're going to chase you down. But then again, in professional and college football games, I believe we saw worse.
We did.
Yeah. What could be worse than misreading that snap cadence and the ball going back 97 yards? 97. To make it a third and goal on the 3-yard line of your own territory.
You ain't making that.
Ain't no way. Not unless you're a couple of idiots that keep going. It keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. Lord. And then, of course, there's you broadcasters. Y'all want to become my man for stupid things too, Randy Moss. You still think we ain't gonna let you live down that you wound up in the wrong city of Bristol for your son's game? When in fact he told you how long it was going to take you to get there. That should have been the key right there. That one, you only gonna have to drive an hour and 20 minutes. And number two, make sure you get the right city to go to this time.
Yeah, please.
You don't need to be on Come On Man again for doing the same mistake. And before we even get into more of the funny things aside of sports and life, this announcement comes to my own neck of the woods through the Williamson County School Board of Education. Centennial High School is getting a brand new principal this July of titanic proportions. And you don't know what I'm talking about, folks? Kevin Dyson, the former athletic director of Stewart's Creek High School and Independence, is going to be the new head principal of Centennial High School here in Franklin, starting on July the 1st, taking over for his predecessor, the former principal of Pearl Cone herself, Dr. Megan Sanders. And, of course, the Titans-Texas tiebreaker, where Deshaun Watson knew they screwed up after they lost the coin toss. They knew they wasn't going to get the ball back. They knew Henry was going to get the ball, and they knew Henry was going to get him. Oh, boy. It's a good thing he knew where to stop.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And return specialist. This is a big effort for you guys and girls. If you're going to try to make a punt return, for the love of God, please, and this is a big please, do not, when you call for a fair catch, make sure your feet don't end up on the end zone, on the line of the end zone. Please don't. Oh my God, not the McCriggleberry hump. Aaron Rodgers, that's going to get you penalized anyway. Stop watching Key and Peele. Stop watching Key and Peele, man, please. The McCrinkleberry hump belongs on that show and that show alone. It doesn't belong in the National Football League. You're going to get penalized for that, man. And plus, you were awkward.
Yep. That's why I tried to forget 2020 on purpose.
Yep. Because even Randy Moss will have to admit, you just got mossed. But even Randy Moss got mossed himself because of the snafu that he caused. Whoa, wait, oh man. The NTSU Rice game. The ball that bounced 1, 2, 3, 4 times and bounced back in. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, come on, man. Even you know that was going to happen. And of course, I believe that most of you cannot forget the Antonio Brown touchdown that he did against the Colts that almost emphatically, when he almost had a catastrophic injury to himself. And I think most of you do know what I'm talking about. That'll be the catastrophic jumping and hugging the goalpost and almost popping one of your fellas to pieces. You might not want to do that. Oh my God. Well, coach, you got yourself a Powerade bath, but you need to keep your shirt on. You're on national TV, man. Hide your dignity. Nobody needs to be a hairy werewolf, man. Good God.
Exactly. Good grief.
I mean, jeez Louise. Oh, Daniel Jones. Oh my God. Now, there's a reason why Daniel Jones was an idiot. And nobody tripped him up but himself. And he did it while he was in Michigan. Cole Beasley did it. And Ricky Weeks did it. I mean, folks, if you're going to trip, Steve Young will show you how it's done. When they trip you up, make sure you put your hand on the ground and push yourself back up off the ground. Or in this case, get some help. Don't tread on the turf. Come on, man. And your teammates is laughing at you while you look really, really stupid.
Yep, stupid. Now, is Nightmares on All Access tomorrow?
Yes, there is.
Off the assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
But what are we doing with that?
Well, what we're going to do with that? Well, what we're going to do with that, I will tell you this. Since it's Nightmares All Access, And like I said before, this is an all access edition, and we'll give you the insight of the nightmares of season to come. Plus the season they countdown to the start of the season. Plus, we will tell you some of the ins and outs of women's football with a little segment we like to call Football Basics 101. We'll go over the rules in short term.
Yep. And we'll be looking forward to that for tomorrow.
Yep.
And I believe a very important meeting will be on Sunday.
Yep.
And I'm wondering if you want to do a Nightmares on Podcast roundup on Sunday after meeting, or if you want to just put that all into next week's episode.
I'll put all that into next week's episode. And because due to the fact that, good old Sean Sims once again posted about getting the abscess Boyle cut off his bum again.
They do.
Yeah.
But
Sean, dude.
In all seriousness here.
Sean, we love you, man. But
no, I mean, in all seriousness.
We love you.
It seems like we're finally getting things together.
Mm-hmm. And Sean, with all respect, man, we love you, but for the love of God, please, I don't think all of Facebook wants to know about the nasty boil that is pussing and running down your leg. I don't think nobody needs to.
Especially for those folks that have not had dinner yet.
And for those who had dinner and want to keep it down.
Yes.
No. No.
So do you want to close out this short-term edition so we can yak all that's ahead for Sunday? Or do you want to keep going with this one to get ready for tomorrow?
We're going to keep going on this one and get ready for tomorrow. Because as it is, like I said, this is the funny side of sports and life. And like I said, there are funny things in sports and life that we can laugh at. We look back on things like that and laugh at it because, well, it's completely hilarious. Like, for one example, when the whole thing COVID hit, one thing you don't want to do is put somebody's dirty shorts on your face as a mask.
Oh, my personal favorite. A goalie actually sitting on a puck like he's trying to hash it.
Oh, Lordy.
As Pete Weber, the Boys of the Predators, are calling, he's acting like he's in a hit hatcher.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, you're sitting on Bolton and Trevor.
Or
nothing's coming out of that thing.
Or my least personal favorite, and cause I feel sorry for the guys, cause I don't have the cojones, and that hurts me. If you're sitting on a stool, make sure that the stool is completely functional and properly built. Cause if that occurs, you're going to get a pole right where the sun don't shine.
Yeah.
And apparently a TV host did that and he wound up bleeding right out the wazoo on national television. Right through the suit! Right through the suit!
Oh.
That hurts me! I know it's 20 to multi-IND, but that hurts!
You think?
That hurts! That's the one thing I can say that.
Yeah, seriously. If we find one more of those peanut angles ones when it comes to the nuts, we're closing this podcast. I'm sorry.
No, and thank God, and thank God.
I may be the number 2 on this, but if we find one more of those, this baby is shut down.
Shoot, and thank God I didn't, but I did find a funny golf one.
No, the nutsack ain't funny.
No, I found a funny golf one. It's not off the nutsack, man. Believe it or not.
Hold on. The only thing that would be better, since we're talking about golf, is if the dude, sets up to swing the golf club, okay? He lines up the shot. He swings, but instead it snaps back on him.
No, what I'm basically talking about is a golfer who sets up his shot on the lake of ice.
Yeah.
Where one part of the lake is unthawing. He tries to hit it. When he did, he fell into that hole of freezing water.
Oh no, he's in slushy land.
That's what he did. He fell into a hole of water.
Like, dude, that wasn't a hockey rink. That was Mr. Slushy.
That was
That was Mr. Slushy. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
That was a oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Like, I'm Mr. Slushy.
And I'll take you down with me.
And basically, let's just put it this way. I need to get out of this water dance before he gets completely sick and
But I will give the guy with the most sickest way to hit a golf ball off a tee, ninja style, a 10 out of 10. He swung that golf club. He swung a 9-iron like a katana.
Now, okay.
He was.
Was this dude angry at somebody when he did this?
No, I don't think so. He don't use a 9-iron one-handed. He did it with one hand though. When he swung.
If somebody's already ticked off at somebody and you play wacky tag.
No.
That's the only one you're gonna get that type of a swing.
No.
Sorry.
No, he swung it with one arm. When he did, he swung the golf club back. He swung it back around, swung it like a sword, and went down in a ninja move. Hey, what? That is the smoothest thing known to man. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Miyagi.
Wax on, I'll go bye-bye.
Thank you, 7-0 in the Mortal Kombat first movie.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, that movie has finally made its way into theaters and HBO Max today.
A friend of mine today just saw it.
I have HBO Max and I watched it.
Okay, because a friend of mine who watched it, because it was about the originals at the beginning.
Yeah.
And now there's another one.
And unlike its predecessor movies, this one is showing all the gory fatalities known to man.
They had them all in there. And I'm like, oh my god.
Kung Lao's hat trick.
Yeah, where it saws you in half.
Flawless victory.
Wait a minute. No,
that was Kung Lao.
That was Twisted Frisbee Chainsaw Massacre.
No, Kung Lao's hat is a buzzsaw. Then there's Sonya Blade's very patented fatality, the kiss of death.
The kiss of death and the kiss of doom. They both kill with the same accuracy and destroy.
Not unless you kiss somebody and then you watch them explode to pieces.
Yeah, 4th of July celebration. Except body parts.
Mm-hmm. And if for the life of me, folks, please, if you guys gonna watch Jackass movies, do what their advisory says and don't try to mess at home. Because they're insane.
Let me interrupt you here. Because I was never a huge fan of that franchise or series or TV show on MTV.
Yeah, but they're spending 4 movies from it. 4 Jackass movies.
Watching that show or movies ever.
The only time I watched that movie is when I saw Butterbean fighting Johnny Knoxville in a shopping center.
Now, I will watch Celebrity Deathmatch, though.
But yeah, Celebrity Deathmatch is ridiculous. And at least right there, their cartoons mutilating themselves and no real body parts were injured in the making of that show.
It's clay anime, basically.
Yeah, the fight of Madonna versus Michael Jackson, the ultimate crotch competition. Yeah, Madonna wound up with a yeast infection and Michael Jackson shot himself.
I'll get that in a second. But man.
Or my very, very personal favorite.
So you said all you got is sausage? Okay.
And my very, very personal favorite.
Yeah, I can eat a couple pieces of pizza.
If we call it that.
But yeah.
Judge Mills Lane refereed. I allow it.
Now the only sucky thing I did not like was the sideline person. Not trying to say that it wasn't a bad thing to add, but I think the success of the show was just the 2-man broadcast.
Yep.
If they tried to make that show in today's time,
they won't watch it this morning.
It would be utterly impossible.
No.
I mean, if you want to watch it, you can find it on YouTube.
Believe me, I've found them and I've seen them on YouTube. It's not the same as it was on TV with Bully Beatdown.
Bully Beatdown? Wait a minute. Did I miss that one?
Yeah, it was a season. Yeah, it was a season that was hosted by Johnny Mayhem Miller.
Oh, good. Okay. I think I missed that one.
Yeah, and it featured the first ever female debut of the Karate Hottie herself.
Okay.
Michelle Watterson. And the first ever female bully. But the only funny thing about that show is a bully that's so big that when he got hit, he tossed his cookies on national television.
Oh.
They gave that man a bucket. Right after Andre the Pitbull Arlovsky punched that man in the stomach so many times, he don't throw up what he ate for lunch in the bucket. On national television, he threw up in the bucket. They stopped the match and the man threw up in the bucket.
He went
Nope.
But it was probably louder to break the sound barrier. Yeah, that.
Of course, you got a guy who thinks he's from Jersey, got his hair beat up like Donald Trump losing it.
I thought that name wasn't supposed to be even uttered on this podcast.
Sorry about that, but he looked like it. His hair went flying. Poof! He thought that beat him so bad, his hair went straight.
That falls under the category of magic trick. What did you do before you got out of the shower? Oh, I straightened my hair.
Boom! Say no more. Boom!
And made myself look like a total even more twit than I already am.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Not shut up already.
Yeah. But of course, there was a bully that Mayhem had to beat himself personally. Some dude who was beating up on his cousin.
Yeah, you mentioned Butterbean.
Yeah.
Let's not forget
that big dude.
Let's not forget where we saw Butterbean first.
Mm-hmm. He did appearance on the first Jackass movie doing department store boxing. Now, folks, there's a reason why that should never happen in public. Somebody can get hurt, and somebody had gotten hurt.
Remember, Butterbean, when the voice of wrestling, good old JR, was there, he was trying to find him an opponent. Since he beat everybody up in a Brawl for All the following week, he put old Bart Gunn up against Butterbean.
And Bart Gunn got the crap kicked knocked out of him. Let's not forget, folks, that Butterbean outweighs me.
And he probably outweighs me.
Butterbean, at the time of his career, he weighed at 610 pounds, making him a ultimate super heavyweight. Which means his punches in the first round, with the quickest time possible, knocked out in the first round, 12 to 15 seconds.
He was literally, he was out cold.
You're done.
You know what I was surprised? I was surprised Bart Gunn could find his way out of the arena.
I'm surprised Bart Gunn even came to after that hit he took.
I'm surprised Bart Gunn didn't pull a Luke Kang and actually go into the netherworld. After getting tied out.
Fatality.
Smoked.
Butterbean wins.
And that wasn't a fatality neither.
That was an annihilation.
That was a flat out tail kicking.
Yeah. And Butterbean was also a guy I saw in, of course, Jackass doing a department store boxing match. Which kind of ended with Johnny Knoxville getting a concussion and about 15 stitches across the head.
Now I wonder.
After his head hit the corner of a jury display case where they were fighting near the jury and the luggage.
Now, if we could fix the Brawl for All tournament, because it was kind of put together on the fly when that tournament was being put together. You know, there were some elements that were good, but it felt, how can I put it?
Way short.
It was clunky enough to where it really kind of sucked.
Yeah.
If you were to fix the Brawl for All tournament, what would your suggestion be? So we're talking about matches and everything, because for me, it's like they really didn't have any rules except for the knockout part.
True.
I mean, there was no, how can I say it? No foundational structure for the thing.
Mm-mm.
And that to me was a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was nothing that says, okay, here's how this tournament is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you agree with what I'm talking about here, but when you watched it, could you sense that?
Yeah, I kind of did. Because that was kind of too much. One hitter quitter, bim bam boom, your butt's done. I'm going home.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember if they did 3 rounds or
I think they were trying to do 3.
I forgot, but it just felt ragged.
Yeah, they were trying to do 3.
But if you since we're talking about like different stuff and we could fix it,
Mm-hmm.
how would you fix the tournament?
How to fix it?
Because the thing is, it had a chance.
Yeah, it did.
Until it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here thinking as I go back and, in my head, remember that tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking to myself, how could you make that tournament more entertaining to where folks would actually would have given a darn about it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm asking you.
Me personally, the way I will see it, it could take a lot of, it'll probably need a lot of tweaking. Maybe it'll need longer round periods. Maybe it needs
instead of 3 minute rounds, you go 3 5-minute rounds.
Yep, and instead of
did it go 5 minutes?
No, it went 3 minutes. Because if it was if it was a championship, it would have went 5 minutes.
Yeah, it would have been 5-minute rounds.
Yeah. Then again, if it did that, it looked like Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
But the thing is, I don't think anybody would have been used to that because they would have been used to 3 minutes.
True.
If it were somebody other than Bart Gunn, of course.
And on Summer News, and I believe you might have heard about this yesterday, but 33-year-old Geno Atkins wound up in hospice care yesterday.
Ooh.
He has colon cancer, stage 4.
Wow.
At 33 years old. All because he was taking non-prescription medicine. He was taking NSAIDs, he was taking aspirin and Tylenol, and then you read the side effects on what it will do to him. Until I found out what it did do to him, and most of his I think most of his body was shutting down, and it had. Oh boy. We hope that Mr. Atkins himself gets a speedy recovery and get back on his feet.
Speaking of even more somber news in the wrestling world, which I sent you today, one of the wrestlers of the 80s and the 90s, former Chicago Bear Monsters of the Midway, Steve Mongo McMichael, earlier today, was diagnosed with ALS, aka Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah.
That was today.
And most of you folks know what ALS does.
It basically ravages your whole body.
And because the late Steve Gleason had started this years ago, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, to raise awareness for ALS, which led that challenge to become a phenomenon. Had passed away a couple of years ago at the age of 38. Mm-hmm. And basically, don't let you know, this is no joke. You think we as athletes are superheroes? We're not. We're just regular people.
Like we've said before, take the label away, and all you're left with is a human being with flesh and bone, just like you.
Yep.
That's it. And I think on that depressing somber note, I think this is a good place to close.
Yeah. Well, on that, and with this,
time to be determined.
Mm-hmm. And stay tuned. And also, folks, next week is a very special edition because next week's the start of the NFL draft.
Well, we will have already gotten through the first.
The first one starts on Sunday. On Friday.
Well, it starts the first round starts Thursday night.
The 29th.
Rounds 2 and 3. I believe that'll be on Friday.
Rounds 2 and 3 are Saturday and Sunday. Oh my God. And also, like I said, folks, when I talked about this last week, make sure your pyrotechnics is up to par. Otherwise, you want to know, like, what the Titans did when Parker somehow wound up a big old black charcoal mess.
And as always, as we close out each podcast, do us all a favor. Keep yourself safe, please. Can you do that?
That's all we ask.
You already know what we ask. So all we're going to do is just cut it down to one simple thing. Be safe wherever you are. That's it. Because we need you back here tomorrow. And as we take this wild, crazy, looping journey that is the NWFL Women's Football season, we need you around.
Yes. And before we close it out, I'll have to say this again. Sean, man, we love you. Please stop posting up the updates about getting that boil cut out your butt. Please.
So,
until next time.
All right.
We'll see you guys We'll see you tomorrow and next time. Goodbye.